Homeless people sleep on the street. Love her. Her tiaras are so pretty. Her tiaras represent us not being able to afford the cost of living. People who simp for billionaires are so embarrassing.
Oh, hey. Hello, Two Shot fans, and good morning. I'm here to talk about the Queen who recently passed. Let's take a look at this person here that doesn't like the Queen.
The Queen is dead. RIP. Apart the monarchy, how are people going online being like, love her, gonna miss her. I love the woman who represents colonization, billionaires exploiting the working class, disenfranchisement, protects pedophiles, hated that her grandson married a black woman and had a black child. You love that because you romanticize the monarchy and want to ignore what it represents? These people's job is to do charity events, when the reason we require charity is because they hoard wealth. What the That is fake as It's 2022 and you have people living in 500-bedroom castles.
Okay, pause. Yeah, isn't Will Smith one of those guys who lives in castles?
Ba-bow, ba-bow, ba-bow.
Who is this girl anyway? Some Instagram slut? It's not. She could be anyway. She could be really smart.
Well, homeless people sleep on the street. Love her. Her tiaras are so pretty. Her tiaras represent us not being able to afford the cost of living. People who simp for billionaires are so embarrassing. They blame their disenfranchisement fucking Trudeau and people on employment insurance. What the fuck is wrong with you that you cannot see that the people that are exploiting us are not the poor? It's the ultra wealthy, the billionaires.
I might have missed that.
I saw this girl post this video that was like, we should abolish billionaires. And the comment section was like, why on earth would we do that?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. This person has a point, I guess, but it's a little more complicated than that. Let's take a look here.
And now, some key moments in the reign of Queen Elizabeth II. We'll revisit some of the most historic moments in the reign of Britain's record-setting monarch. Queen Elizabeth II, who ruled the United Kingdom for 7 decades, was such a long-standing institution that it's easy to forget she wasn't supposed to have become queen at all.
How do you rule for 7 decades?
Born in 1926, Elizabeth was the daughter of King George V's second son and had little expectation of succeeding to the throne until her uncle, King Edward VIII, abdicated in 1936 to marry the divorced American socialite Wallis Simpson. After the death of her father, King George VI, 25-year-old Elizabeth was called upon to assume the throne, beginning a momentous reign. In February 2022, the United Kingdom staged a series of celebrations for the Queen's Platinum Jubilee, marking 70 years of her service to the British Commonwealth. Queen Elizabeth II, who died at age 96, proved consistent and enduring. In April 2021, she lost her husband of 73 years, Prince Philip, when he died at age 99. In February 2022, the Queen contracted the coronavirus, which she later said left her very tired and exhausted. She installed her 15th Prime Minister, Liz Truss, just 2 days after her death. 1. Queen Elizabeth II's Coronation, June 2, 1953. Held at Westminster Abbey, Elizabeth's coronation ceremony was the first to be broadcast live on television. Some 27 million people in the United Kingdom, out of a total population of 36 million, watched the ceremony, and 11 million more listened on the radio. Afterward, some 3 million people lined the route as the Queen and her entourage made their slow procession back to Buckingham Palace.
The Queen has many detractors, including this online loudmouth, Jessica.
There's definitely people from my hometown that have some motherfucking shit to say about Jessica being naked online, which I think is so funny because Bonneville is also where I make the majority of my money.
Wait, this girl's some kind of prostitute or something? Or online hooker?
It's pretty easy to be naked on the internet when at 14 years old you were fucking yourself for an entire hockey team on a projector.
What?
So that's how I started popping my pussy on the internet. And now it's literally what I do full time. I'm on there 24/7. I'm on there all the time. I'm filming content.
So she She's an internet whore.
all the time. I also do boudoir photography, so now I take sexy pics of other people, which has been so sick and so fulfilling.
Well, that explains. Well, her validity just went out the window. Carlos, do we have some footage of her actually prostituting outside in Vancouver? Can we run that?
Private property.
Ah,
Just with
okay.
photography, it gets a bit gray.
Okay, okay,
So just
okay.
kind of maybe flip it along, or
Oh, yeah.
just because there's cameras everywhere.
Okay, so
Okay, cheers, guys.
Is that getting in trouble for filming her being a prostitute or something outside? That's pretty weird.
that's 5 seconds. 5 seconds.
So people are like yelling at her, telling her to have some respect. She's practically naked in public. Yeah, okay.
2. First state visit to West Germany, 1965. In the midst of a decade marked by social and political changes, the Queen kept to a busy schedule of diplomatic duties, including a 10-day visit to the Federal Republic of Germany, or West Germany, that was the first official visit there by a British royal since 1913.
Her visit to Germany marked the 20-year anniversary of the end of World War II and hoped to symbolize the reconciliation of the two nations, and also recognize the reemergence of Germany as a nation of power in Europe and on the world stage.
Jeffrey, who was that fat chin man speaking in my place? 3. Mining disaster in Wales, 1966. On October 21, 1966, an avalanche of mud, water, and debris from a coal mine buried an elementary school in the South Wales village of Aberfan, killing 116 children and 28 adults. Though Prince Philip arrived in Aberfan a day after the disaster, the Queen herself delayed her visit for over a week, feeling her presence would distract from rescue and recovery efforts. Some of those close to Elizabeth, including her former private secretary, Lord Charteris, have said she regretted the decision not to visit Aberfan sooner. 4. First walkabout, 1970. During a royal tour of Australia and New Zealand with Philip and Princess Anne in 1970, Elizabeth bucked centuries of royal tradition when she took a casual stroll to greet crowds of people in person, rather than wave them from a protected distance. Now, a regular practice for British royals, both abroad and at home, the first walkabout in Sydney was proposed by Sir William Heseltine, an Australian who served as the Queen's private secretary and was the driving force behind a 1969 TV documentary featuring the royal family, which attracted a global audience of some 40 million people. 5. Silver Jubilee, 1977. On June 7th, Elizabeth and Philip rode in the Gold State coach from Buckingham Palace to St. Paul's Cathedral to officially celebrate her 25th year on the throne. Wearing a bright pink outfit, including a hat decked out with 25 fabric bells, the Queen repeated her long-ago pledge to devote her life to service, saying that although that vow was made in my salad days when I was green in judgment, I do not regret nor retract one word of it. 6. Prince Charles' wedding to Lady Diana Spencer, 1981. On July 29, 1981, an estimated 750 million people in 74 countries around the world tuned in to watch Prince Charles, Elizabeth's eldest son, marry Lady Diana Spencer at St. Paul's Cathedral. The romance between the heir to the British throne and the young shy Di had attracted massive media attention, and their lavish nuptials were considered the wedding of the century. While Diana earned the adoration of the public, her marriage to Charles and her relationship with the royal family was troubled from the beginning. Visit to China, 1986. In late 1984, Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher's government agreed to return sovereignty over Hong Kong to China beginning July 1, 1997. In 1986, Elizabeth became the first British monarch to visit the Chinese mainland during the Terracotta Warriors in Xi'an, the Great Wall in Beijing, and other sites. For the press, the diplomatic importance of the Queen's visit was outweighed by her husband's characteristic and sometimes racist gaps. Philip called Beijing ghastly and told a group of British students they would get slitty eyes if they stayed in China too long. In 1988, at Dodger Stadium, the Queen attended a baseball contest between the California Angels and Seattle Mariners. From the get-go, Her Majesty appeared to be having a fantastic outing, as she was seen gracefully nodding to her fellow baseball fans, participating in a crowd wave, and even throwing an amazing curveball for the first pitch.
How about that queen, ladies and gentlemen? Let's have a nice round of applause.
That is, until a freshly hypnotized Reggie Jackson brandished a gun at her while repeatedly muttering in a trance, "I must kill the Queen." In a desperate bid to save Her Royal Highness from the dazed outfielder, an undercover police officer, Detective Frank Draven, disguised himself as an umpire in order to get close to the attempted assassin. Traben even shot a dart from his cufflinks that was intended for the assassin, but accidentally struck a woman in the upper deck who fell on top of Reggie Jackson, which inadvertently prevented him from firing the gun at the Queen. Frank Traben and fellow police officers were awarded by the Queen with some free baseball tickets and hot dogs. What a great outing.
My friend sent me this. Oh my god! This
She's
is
showing a dildo that she got.
access to my magic wand. Oh! Oh my god! Oh
What a nut.
my god.
What a nutty world we
How
live
did that
in.
happen? Oh my god. I'm gonna be fucking this thing in so many ways.
Who puts this? I can't believe you have people
When
that
I
put this
post
stuff
this
on
now,
it.
people are gonna lose their minds.
Yeah, I think you already lost yours. Alright, that's enough. Anyway, subscribe and the Queen. Yeah, let's see what else we can. Okay, we're gonna have to go now. Thank you.